Hey, good afternoon, good morning, depending where you're watching us from. Today we have the pleasure to introduce the wonderful, the fantastic, the phenomenal Joo-Lee stock. And Joo-Lee is the dance doctor, as you can see in her background. So Joo-Lee, thank you very much for joining us today. It's a fantastic privilege to have you with us. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. Thank you for having me on your, on your interview. I love talking, and I love talking about anything that you are interested in, things that I'm interested in. And thank you for a fabulous introduction.
You're welcome. So I'm excited. Let me just put my glasses on because and I want to know, first of all, there's that thing that I've heard, on the grapevine, right? Which is that you claim that you can teach anybody how to dance, and I want to hear about that because some people definitely have what they call, what is it, two left feet or something, and so so tell us how that works if somebody has never danced before or if they're really, nervous.
Oh, everyone has the talent to do something as simple as dancing. If you have the desire and if you can walk, you can dance. The wish to dance is a very playful, very childlike desire, and it's a fun thing, and it makes us feel joyful. Everyone has the desire to dance, but I think over time, if we're told we can't dance, maybe well-meaning friends and family, maybe they want to protect you from possible public embarrassment. They may say or make comments that are not helpful. They don't mean to put you down necessarily, but over time, when you hear so many times someone saying you can't dance, maybe negative comments about, oh, you're very silly when you dance. So over time, we start to believe what we hear. But everyone can dance, and I've been teaching music and dancing for over 30 years. And I know that if you really want to dance, you can.
You can dance, okay. But that's true, isn't it, about most beliefs? People end up believing what they're told to believe, and that's such a shame. So you're there to show them that it's not so with the dancing, sorry. And in particular, you're preparing people who are going to get married, right? And so this would be a one time where they definitely feel inhibited because other people will be watching and stuff. So how that work, Joo-Lee?
Well, for a wedding couple, it depends on what sort of vision they have for their wedding dance.
Okay.
So the dancing I teach is what we call social dancing. You're dancing for social reasons, just like learning a language. So if I went to English speaking classes, I would learn the grammar, I would learn, how to speak the language, but I wouldn't be learning it so that I could be on stage and recite poetry. I learned the language in order to communicate, so I could have wonderful conversations. So we're teaching social dancing, and social dancing is conversational dancing. And for the couple's first wedding dance, what we want to see really is a beautiful connection and conversation between two people who love each other. So take, for example, the vows you would witness at a wedding. On one hand, the vows are very private, aren't they? They're a private agreement, promise, expression of this intent between two people on their important day. So even though it's private, they are actually sharing it with their friends and family. So you've got the situation where it's a private moment, an important moment, but they're sharing it. So similarly with a wedding dance, it's a private expression of your feelings for each other during that very treasured moment, but at the same time, people are watching.
Right.
So I try and coach couples to bear those two things in mind. It is private, but it's also public. So we must get that balance right. So if you only think of it as a public display, forgetting your other half, then perhaps your vision of your wedding dance is a spectacle, it's a bit of a show. Nothing wrong with that, but that's your vision. And that can sometimes frighten people. That's all of a sudden, it's not within your specialism to dance, suddenly you have to put on a technical, jaw-dropping
Right, right.
dance
Yeah.
to amuse your friends and family. When actually, what your friends and family probably want to see is a beautiful, connected dance that shows your feelings for each other.
And I love that, Joo-Lee, actually, that what you said there just a minute ago, which is actually a basis, if you ask me, of a really good relationship, which is you're there for your beloved. You're there to make sure they feel accompanied, they feel, so this is really, I'd say you see a lot because of the nature of what you teach and within the framework of the marriage. I'd say you get a you get to see how they really interact. And
yes, definitely, it's more about teamwork.
right.
For a wedding dance, it's more about teamwork and communication than it is about dancing. But of course, in my wedding dance program, I show people how to dance. I show you technical details that will help you to dance more easily. So it's not about being perfect in your dance, it's about
Sure.
how can you make dancing easy and enjoyable,
Yeah,
because when it's easy and enjoyable, you'll be relaxed, and when you're relaxed, you're more likely to be connected with your partner. So
absolutely.
I've taught quite a few private lessons with couples, and some make a good team, and others there's a bit of a tension.
Yeah, yeah,
So however good they may be about their dancing, if there's a bit of tension between the couple, it's just a little bit more difficult
of course.
to achieve. But
Yeah.
if they are relaxed as people, and if one person wants to please their beloved, I love the way you use beloved, so I'm going to change from partner to beloved. So if you want to communicate with the beloved, if you want to communicate with the other half and you want the best for them, then the dance will work very easily. So wedding dancing is, to me, it's about communication, teamwork, and wanting your other half to have a lovely dance. It's about looking after each other.
Sure. And I love what you say about that. But you know what, Joo-Lee, I want to let anybody know who's listening that actually we're aiming to talk about one of the services you offer, just so that in case they're thinking, oh gosh, I don't know where you live, but I'm not next to you. I want to just say that actually, although it sounds incredible, maybe incredibly impossible, Joo-Lee has an online teaching program. So don't go away, please. If you're thinking this is only for local, participants, please stay with us. We'll unpack this as we go. I just wanted to let you know that, just in case you're wondering how this is relevant online, right? Exactly because of that. But Joo-Lee, what I'd like to ask you, and we'll get back to that in a minute, is how did you get into because you're doing it 30 years, right? You said. So how did you start into all that, and what maybe even quickly what you did before, and what led you into that?
Yeah. Well, for 30 years, I've been a music teacher,
Okay.
and music is very much related to dance.
Sure.
I think if you have music within you, dancing is a very natural, course of action after that.
Sure.
So to begin with, I was trained as a classical musician at
Okay.
the Birmingham Conservatoire, so I learned the piano and the flute, and then I went on to Durham to do my teacher training. So I've always been interested in using music as a form of communication, as a form of expression. But most of all, I love teaching, because I love sharing my skills and seeing people transform. So for years and years, I became, when I was a school music teacher, I could see that there are lots of people who don't believe they could be musical.
Right.
There's a myth going around. The myth goes like this: you can only be a great musician if you have a special talent.
Right.
Either you're born with a talent or you haven't. So this myth also is prevalent in terms of our belief about dancing. You can only dance if you are a dancer, or if you're born a dancer. I don't know how you're born a dancer, but quite often couples will come to me, and this would be the way they might say, oh, she's a dancer, but I'm not.
Right.
So what makes somebody a dancer? Does it mean you have training when you were very young? So the training that you have when you're very young could be relevant, it could not be relevant. Because
Okay.
you're used to doing a solo dance, well, I have news for you. Partner dancing is very different from
Right.
dancing, because when you're doing solo dancing, you are putting on a show, you're performing, and you have to lead yourself. When you dance as partners, there is a connection that's going on, and that's a different kettle of fish altogether. So teaching has been my love. It's been something I absolutely love doing from the beginning. So I went on from teaching music to teaching performing arts. So
Okay.
the years gone on, I was fortunate enough to gain promotion. So from teacher to head of music to director of performing arts, and so what I did was I taught music as part of the performing arts department, and also
Wonderful.
brought my then hobby of dance into the curriculum. So I taught students to play music, to dance, and to put on shows. But all that time, I've been interested in partner dancing as a hobby.
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
after work, I was still indulging in music and dancing. So I never stopped working. That's because music and dancing is both my work and my passion. So I've done a lot of swing dancing, which is Lindy Hop in Charleston. I started doing that sort of dancing around 1994. So I traveled to lots of different countries and cities, learning to dance with lots of different people.
Wow, fascinating.
So I've been teaching adults who claim they can't dance for a long
Right.
time. So I wanted to develop this dance in where I live, in the area where I live. So I started an adult dance class for adult beginners. So
Great.
every single day, every single week, I'm dealing with adult beginners. And it's a real joy to teach someone who's never danced before to discover that they can actually dance.
I'd say it's very uplifting for them, isn't it? Because you're breaking some of their long-held belief about themselves that they're not good enough at something. So that's always a wonderful thing to.
Yes. We often think we're not good at certain things, but more so in regards to dance. Sometimes I might use this analogy to explain, to say, okay, this is an example. Last week, I had a couple that came to me for private lessons, and the gentleman was an IT trainer. He trained people to use the computers. So I said, there is no similar myth regarding learning computers. We don't say something like, oh, I'm a computer expert, or I'm not. I was born using the computers. Oh, no, I've got, I can't use computers. So it's a skill we learn, but we don't have such an emotional attachment to, say, using spreadsheet. We don't say, spreadsheets are not for me. I've got 2 left spreadsheets.
No, but actually, Joo-Lee, that's not true. I think I meet people all the time who go, oh, no, I'm not good at IT. I can't go there.
Yes. So maybe it's true across that arena as well. Yes. So maybe people have beliefs about what they're good at and what they're not good at.
Yeah.
But I think with dancing, it's quite magnified in terms of our emotional response to it.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Worry about being embarrassed that they can't dance. There's more of a public display. I think maybe when you're not too good with computers, you might have a private tantrum at home that your computer's not working. But when you're dancing,
That's
you worry
true.
about the public embarrassment, the fact that everyone's watching. Whereas when your IT isn't working,
Absolutely.
screen the computer in private, nobody knows.
Absolutely. So tell me, Joo-Lee, is the wedding dance your favorite section out of everything you do, and why is that your favorite, if it is?
Oh, and well, I think everything that I do is my favorite. I wouldn't do something that wasn't my favorite. So when I say everything I do, the overall thing I absolutely love is teaching. And I love teaching what I love doing. So that's my favorite thing. So what is my favorite thing? My favorite thing is teaching.
Okay.
So I happen to have a musical background, so I teach music. I happen to have a dance background, so I teach dancing. So I basically love teaching, and I look for people that want to learn. So not everybody wants to learn to dance, or they tell me they want to learn to dance.
Sure. So tell me what happened. Do you ever get a couple and they're getting married, say, in you know, a few months or whatever, and she dragged him in or he dragged her in type thing, right? And they know they're going to have to probably, in their mind, it's still going to have to be a performance because maybe family is going to be there or something, but actually he or she is dreading it. Do you have that kind of scenario going on?
Yes, yes. Well, they don't have to be dragged in, but one of them can sometimes dread that experience.
Right.
Because, you know, because the bride might be very good at dancing and has training. And there was one couple, it gets worse because his future in-laws are also dance enthusiasts. So there's a huge expectation that he learn to dance. And the interesting thing was he learned much more quickly because he came as a blank canvas.
Nice.
Whereas we had training in other styles, and she was trying to equate and align the style of hers with the wedding dance.
Wow.
So she was very complicated in her analysis, whereas he came trusting me that I will look after him.
Yeah.
Step by step, and he came with no expectation. And I said, leave it with me. Just do one thing at a time, and I'll take you there.
Oh, wow.
Pride, because she, you know the expression, the curse of knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge was worrying about whether this dance was going to be okay because she didn't trust that he could learn it.
Okay.
So it was her belief that he has 2 left feet.
Wow, that's so interesting. Absolutely wonderful what you're saying. It's true for lots and lots of things that if we think we know something, first of all, we can't learn anymore, and then it's harder to learn something new. So I love the blank canvas analogy you're offering.
Yes, yes. The people that learn the most quickly for anything is children. So I say to all my dance couples, be childlike.
Yeah.
Because the main block to learning to dance is the same block as to any kind of learning.
Sure.
That block is an interference of some kind, and that interference is usually overthinking.
Sure.
Children don't overthink. They embrace new opportunities with joy.
Yeah.
And going back to your question about why am I teaching wedding couples and are they my favorite? Well, I'm looking for people that want to dance and need to dance. So not everybody feels the need to dance. So for example, everybody needs food, we need air,
sure,
we need shelter, we need safety, but not everybody needs to dance. So the group of people that I'm looking for that need to dance are wedding couples and people who want to look for a new hobby that's very sociable. So wedding couples need to dance. They really have the following options. 1, leave it to the last minute and then shuffle.
Yeah.
2, just don't do it and then everyone's expecting you to do it.
Right.
3, do it but then you dread it because a song lasts about 3, 4, 5 minutes. And I'll tell you now, if you haven't prepared, 3 minutes, it's a long time.
Yeah.
For everyone to be watching, just one couple do nothing on the floor for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes feel like a long time.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to learn. So easy to learn. If I want to learn something I can't do, I'll just check out an expert. I'll find out who can teach me.
Sure.
If I can't use computers, ask someone to teach you rather than say I can't or I'm no good at it. If I don't need to use computers, then I don't need to. But if I need to, right now I'm putting together the new website for Dance Doctor.
Okay.
Brain melting, so to create an online program that people can learn, where they can see my videos and interact with me and find out the information that they need. I've had to learn how to put together a website that looks easy to navigate. And that's melted my brain. So I could easily say, I can't do websites, I can't do technology. But what I needed to do was look for someone who can help me.
Sure. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to really dance, my advice is look for someone that can help you.
Right. And so, Julie, so you have local classes, right? You do, what do you, because I see you on Facebook a lot. You have, is it Jam? DJ Jam? You have what's,
I see what you mean. Yes, I run an international event once a year called DJ. This
okay.
event attracts about 400 people from all over the world.
Wow.
So if I were to rewind a little bit, 10 years ago, I decided to stop being a school teacher and run my own dance classes for adult beginners. And we started with 40 people.
Okay.
So in that 1 year, the first year, I thought I would love it if my local class could see Lindy Hop as danced by other people from other countries.
Right.
Lindy Hop in Charleston is a new thing that everyone is trying to revive. It's actually a 1920s dance, but the craze is being revived all over the world.
So,
and as the years have gone on, social media has become more prevalent. So we actually see more and more Lindy Hop in Charleston and swing dancing going on all over the world. So for my group of 40, I wanted them to learn how to dance with people they've never danced before. Do you remember what I said about communication?
Yeah.
And connection? So that's what partner dancing is about, and that's what Lindy Hop is about.
Okay.
I had a group, and I call them Lindy Jazz, and we meet weekly to learn and to practice, and then once a year, I get a larger group to come together at the weekend for a more intensive workshop.
Okay.
And the first year, we only had it lasting for 1 day, and we had local people. And the following year, it doubled to 80, and we had people from around the Northeast region. And the third year, we started having people from further afield, like London and Edinburgh, and Birmingham and Bristol. And then we started holding it in a hotel because people are starting to ask me where they can stay over. Now the event has started to expand into a 2-night weekend. So fast forward to this year, we had 400 people, and they come from abroad, come from overseas, partly because they see what we do on Facebook. They can follow what we're doing. And people who do this kind of dancing love connecting and socializing with people they've not met before, never danced with before, but because they have a common language in this dance technique, which is based on connection and skills and communication. It's very exciting to dance with people that you know, but it's also very exciting to dance with people you've never met and never danced with before, and to spontaneously dance to a piece of music that you may not have heard of before.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So really sociable. You meet so many people. I've met so many people from all over the world. I've made so many friends, and people who do this kind of dancing claim that it's changed their lives. It's definitely opened a whole new social life. So that's what D-Jam is about. So I do a weekly class called Lindy Jazz, but I also I run an annual festival in a country house hotel once a year, and that's called D-Jam.
That's fantastic, Julie, because I probably, what I'm hearing with so much online computer stuff, people actually love the contact as well nowadays. They love, as you said, the connection and the exchange, and even if they don't know each other, as you said, there's a common language, and I think I'd say that's maybe why it grew so fast and so, to so many numbers, would you say?
Well, I would say the numbers are huge because there are more and more dancers now. The thing about swing dancers, we love every single person who does swing dancing. They love to share their skill.
Right.
Because the type of people that go swing dancing are very sociable people by nature. Because you are not dancing by yourself. You're dancing with another person.
Yeah.
So by nature, it naturally attracts people that like to connect with another person.
Right.
If you're quite a solitary person, you prefer your own company, you go swing dancing. So in order for people to improve their dancing, they need to learn to connect and dance with another person. Just like a language class, you can speak to yourself into the mirror if you like when you learn a new language.
Yeah.
You could even read your textbooks. But
Sure.
there's nothing like going to a conversation class and speaking that language. And how about
Absolutely.
taking it further, going abroad to speak that language?
Yeah.
Imagine going abroad. I mean, imagine going abroad and being thrown in at the deep end, having
Yeah.
to ask
Wonderful.
things and go to the shops and be surrounded by people who speak that new language that you're learning. Now, that will make you learn pretty quickly.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'd say
So,
some people meet up, right? Some couples,
yes,
probably, I
that's
mean,
right. So
people
the
meet up.
dancers meet up in different parts of the world because they can dance with their own group, but the moment they start dancing with people they've never met, their language skills, their dance language skills are being tested. So I
Beautiful.
may think I'm doing my moves well, but the
Yeah,
test of how well I do my moves will be shown when you can dance with me, when you can connect with me. So unlike choreography, which is memorized,
yeah,
this kind of dancing that I teach is based on a set of moves, a set of skills, but we use it as a language. For example, just like words that you and I are using.
hmm,
When I had a script that would have been pre-rehearsed,
yes,
we
right,
memorized it, and then
right.
what then to our listeners now will be a play.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's a play. But what we're doing right now that's kind of fun is we're having a real conversation.
Sure, sure.
Don't know what you're going to ask, and you don't necessarily know what I'm going to say. But the result is
Yeah,
a fantastic, unique conversation that can't be replicated.
that's
So
fantastic.
what's happening when people come together to do swing dancing? They go to an event with a live band, possibly, or a DJ, and they simply ask each other to dance, just like you would just have conversations with people you don't know.
Yeah,
So that conversation is a one-off. It may not be repeated exactly
yeah.
like that again, because conversations are hard to replicate.
Sure, absolutely. I love that, how you're looking at this, Joo-Lee. It's just fantastic. Yeah, it's the way people communicate with each other through their body. I say that's so rare nowadays because we're becoming so mind-like and stuff. I think I really like that.
We do communicate with our bodies, and I think when we rewatch this interview, we'll know. Just now, you used your hands, your
Yeah,
shoulders, and in some cultures, they're more expressive.
that's true.
No,
Yeah,
some cultures, maybe even the lips don't quite move.
that's true. Wow. That's a quite a culture shock when some people meet, right? Excuse me.
Yes, yeah, yeah. We can
Yeah.
misunderstand, and swing dancing teachers was has taught me that everybody's so different. So every single person that you dance with, their bodies are different, the way they dance is different, their own approach to dancing is different, their philosophy about dance is different. It's
Right.
really taught me to regard everyone as individuals.
Right.
So
Yeah.
even though we learn the same, maybe we learn the same vocabulary, maybe we listen to the same style of music, but the way everyone connects with each other, it's really different. Just like the way everyone speaks,
Sure.
it's different. We all have our own accent, we have our own way of expressing certain words. So you and I are speaking English right now, but both of us are speaking English quite differently,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
still understand each other. So it's the same as swing dancing. They may
Sure.
have learned the swing dance in Ireland. They may have learned their swing dancing in London. But if you more or less learned the same technique,
Sure.
be able to dance with each other.
Mhm. So tell me, Joo-Lee, what's the hardest thing anybody learns that they have to come and learn during the classes with you?
The hardest thing for me or for my students,
For them, what's
them,
do
the
you have
hardest thing.
the common
Well,
thread?
that's right. I think the hardest thing is taking that first step to come to a class.
Right.
So coming to a class can be frightening. Well, it's only frightening in your imagination.
Yeah,
Quite
sure.
often people say to me, I've come 3 times now and it's less frightening. So I say, what's less frightening? Have I become less frightening? They go, no, everything's become more familiar. So
Sure.
unfamiliarity is the hardest thing.
Okay.
So dancing isn't hard. Dancing can be unfamiliar. So
Right.
for me, to go from unfamiliar to familiar is experience.
Right, of course.
So
Yeah.
you basically have to turn up and do it. So because I've come across so many beginners and they've told me how hard it is to feel that sense of confidence and go for it, I've
Right.
started to prepare the wedding dance lessons, but I've also will be launching at the same time, I'll be launching a beginner swing dance online program to give
Yeah.
people the chance to learn before they come to class.
Okay.
Before speaking to my beginners, I don't think I realized how hard it was for some beginners. They often say, I often get inquiries via email saying, "Can I learn to dance before I learn to dance?" You want to learn
Wow.
to dance before you learn to dance. So because dancing is something I love, I say something like, I go, "Hey, just turn up to a class."
Right.
But people worry that if they turn up to a class, that they may not be able to follow the instruction.
Sure.
Worry that they are having to follow the instruction in public.
Right.
Do that
Absolutely.
because there's other participants around. So
Yeah.
ideally, they would like a private lesson. So what some people do is they have a private lesson prior
Okay.
to coming to a class.
Okay.
I'm trying to make the private lessons a bit more accessible so they can get a lesson with me online prior to coming to class, so they can get a few basic building blocks.
I love that, Joo-Lee. That's fantastic because you know what's natural to you because you're dancing for so long is not at all natural to your clients, right? For instance, and the self-confidence is a huge thing for
That's
most.
right. That's right. Mm.
So tell us about the online thing. How, I mean, is that when that was imagined or inspired into your own mind and this is what gave birth to this beautiful set of online classes you have, is it?
Well, the online classes came about because I have various Facebook groups. So with my live class, my weekly class called Lindy Jazz, we have a Facebook page that everyone can see, so you find out what's going on. But I also have a Facebook group for people who attend regularly.
Okay.
And in this group, they can ask questions. They might say, "Hey, you know that track you used, what music was it?" They can ask questions.
Right.
And then they might ask me questions. "You know that move you did, can you just video that for us again?" And for the last few years, I've been doing what I call recap videos. So at the end of the lesson, I'll just do a recap.
Okay.
And they get a video to remind them what we did.
Okay.
But gradually, I realized that they need more than a recap. So I started putting a bit more of an instruction
Okay.
in the videos. Then I realized the videos are getting too long. So what I'll continue to do is to continue giving recap videos. The recap videos will only make sense if you've done the moves before.
Right.
They don't make sense if you haven't done the class.
Sure. Sure.
So what I've done is now develop that idea further and created a course so that I have step-by-step instructions and step-by-step basic building blocks to help somebody who's brand new to begin to learn to dance. So with fuller instructions and paced in a way that somebody who has no clue about dancing will be able to follow easily.
Okay, so if I'm frozen at home with lack of self-confidence and if I'm on my own because I'm so nervous, I don't even want to turn up with anyone because I'm just so afraid I'm going to make a fool of myself. What if I get one of your videos and I'm at home on my own? Can I practice? Yeah.
You don't need a partner because to dance on your own is, if that's already a challenge, can you imagine multiplying the complexity with another person? Because the other person may not do things the way you expect them to, and your body will not do things that you expect it to. So the first thing, when I say the building blocks, I'm teaching my students to have a bit of control. So when I say control, I mean this. For example, if I want to scratch my forehead, I can do this. Okay, I can do this. If I want to pull my ear, I can do this. However, to dance, it just means you're coordinating various movements. So if I want to rub my tummy and I want to pat my head, I do that because I've practiced. And if I want to wiggle my ear,
Well, you can do a lot.
So to have control,
Sure.
create confidence. The
Okay.
reason people worry about feeling foolish is because they feel that they may lose or have no control whatsoever over their movements when they turn up to a class.
Wow.
So
Wow.
control brings you confidence. So
Okay.
I want to give my students control and to help them to be comfortable and confident. If
Okay.
you're uncomfortable, it affects your confidence.
Sure.
If if you don't have control, it affects your confidence. So the very first lesson anybody would learn to do is I'll show them how to walk, just to do a normal bit of walking, and then the next thing I'll show is to get you to maybe stand with your weight on one side of your body, and then
Okay.
your weight on the other side. Most people stand with their feet firmly on both. Stand with with both feet firmly on the ground. And the first lesson, I will talk you through the fact that if you are very firm and stable with both your feet planted on the floor, you're not going to move, are you?
Right.
So
Right.
you need to have one foot free. All right. It doesn't mean you have to stand on one leg and have the other leg up there. It just means don't stand firmly on both feet.
Okay.
Example of walking. When we walk, one foot is on the floor and
That's
the other
true.
the other foot is moving.
Right.
We walk every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't even think about it. But if you have both feet planted on the floor,
Yeah.
and then what happens is people start swaying because the
Right.
only part of your body that's not stuck is the upper half.
That's so
So
funny.
that's why we hear this expression. They often call it mummy daddy dancing. Teenagers often use that expression. So
Okay.
you have one foot free. You can
Right.
when you're walking, you have one foot free anyway. One
Wow.
to be on the floor, one to move.
That's
That's
a
all.
beautifully simple and powerful little example.
But because we've been on shows, we watch TV, so we think we have to
Right.
have both feet off the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's an aerial move. That's in the air. We don't need to do that. Not in social dancing. You
That's
do
what
that.
we.
You're on a show. You're on stage. The trouble is, most people think that dancing is just for performance.
Right.
Dancing has different purposes. You
Yeah.
might dance because you are an entertainer, in which case you have to do spectacular things.
Right. 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 Right.
Most people think they have to be spectacular. Second reason for dancing, it's for social. It's a social skill.
Right.
In the old days, that's how people used to meet each other.
Right.
But it's coming back to that. The fashion's come back. Young people, a lot of young people I know meet each other through dancing.
I love that.
To meet people. It's a very informal way to meet people. It teaches you a lot of social skills. So there's performance, that's social. The other reason for dancing is your own personal enjoyment. If you feel
Yeah.
like it's a mood lifter, or you might dance because of exercise.
Right.
All right, so there are different reasons. So if you are doing your wedding dance and you think it's for exercise, can you imagine? You'll be using really strong movements. It'd be crazy. It's the wrong context. What people need to understand is the context for dancing. So why would you want to do the splits or jump up in the air for your wedding dance?
Exactly. And Joe,
To connect with each other.
yeah, right. And do you ever get, this, because the only type of dancing I've done, to be honest with you, is this kind of, you go to a class and it's just to, just follow the music and just,
Yes.
just I don't even know what to say actually, not release anything, just literally to enjoy yourself. But
Right.
usually people have their eyes closed because we don't really care who's watching, right? What do you do with someone like me turning up at your class?
You can do that. You can do that as well. There are lots. The dancing is also for personal self-expression.
Right.
Yeah. So you could express yourself to music. So music and dancing is very closely related. So I'll give you an example. Say you're the live band or a live concert and you hear the band and you enjoy listening. So you might click your fingers.
Right.
You might tap your toes. You might move around. That's your own way of connecting and
Right. Right.
music. So
Right.
it's another reason. So for your own personal expression.
Sure. But that won't bode well if I'm getting married soon and I'm, yeah.
Well, you can also express yourself to music when you're at a wedding dance. You
Right.
can express your dancing, connect with the music, but I also teach couples to connect with the music and your partner.
Okay. So do you ever have, Joo-Lee, somebody who's coming for their wedding dance and they go, no, can't do it still after trying really hard? Does that ever happen? Or does everybody
No.
leave with an amount of, you
So
know,
far, everyone who's come to my private lessons have achieved their wedding dance at the end of the 2 hours that we set
wow.
aside. That's
That's
my guarantee. That's my personal guarantee.
Oh, wow, I love that. And so tell me, is there a way that you like, because we're online here, and can we sign up somewhere to get a sample, or how, if I wanted to experience what you have to offer right now, is it possible? Are you ready with stuff to share?
Yes. Well, on October the 17th, I'll be putting out an invitation for a free webinar to learn how to get rid of your two left feet and how to create your own wedding dance. Because there's many things to do to prepare for your wedding dance, and I'll give you some tips during the webinar on the 17th of October. It will cover things like what you need to consider for your song. So maybe you need to choose your songs carefully. Some songs are about dying, you know what I mean? You might think it's a romantic song, but maybe you haven't checked the lyrics. And some songs are about breaking up. So you might think it's a romantic song, but the song is about breaking up. And you might want to choose a song that suits your personality.
Okay.
Slow or fast, and how to make sure that your dress for the bride, that your dress you can actually dance in, so that your sleeves don't drop off, you know.
Oh,
and then
God.
if it's kind of sleeveless or not topless, but you know what I mean, shoulder strapless. That's the word, strapless. When you lift your arms, then
Oh my God. Yeah.
so I'll
Oops.
give lots of advice about how to, what you need to do to prepare for your dance. So during the webinar, I'll be putting out a special offer. So the launch is coming soon, October 17th. But the best way to get the latest news is to look for The Dance Doctor on Facebook.
Okay.
I will put out announcements there. And if you click like on The Dance Doctor on Facebook, you'll be able to see my photo.
Okay.
And I will welcome you and then give you lots of tips, and then I'll tell you the latest news, and you'll be able to subscribe to the program before long. So on October the 17th, you get a free webinar, a bit of free tuition.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm not getting married, but I think I might just want to come anyway to it.
Yes. Hopefully it's so attractive, the course is so attractive, people will start wanting to get married. You don't need to get married to dance.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but really what I'm putting together is a slow romantic dance.
Okay.
But if I created a business called Slow Romantic Dance, it's a different business. I just decided to call it the Dance Doctor, because I'm here to cure your two left feet. But the first program I'm putting out is called Wedding First Dance. Who knows? In the future, I might create a new product called Slow Romantic Dance.
Yeah, no, but I like the Dance Doctor. I like that because, and it's often because if you don't know about something before you get into it, you don't have the valid question for it, right? So all the tips that you talked about just a second ago, I mean, I would have zero idea of what could go wrong and yet be faced with on the day with something that's like, oh my God, I never thought about this, and now I feel handicapped, I'm so embarrassed. So this is really good tips and really good, things you have to share. So really people are prepared, that sounds to me really important.
Yeah, it's good fun. I mean, the more we think about it, the more fun you have. And a lot of it's common sense. But although I say it's common sense in my world, because I think about dancing all the time. I think about what the bride might want to wear. So if your dress is all the way down to the floor, you're bound to step on it.
Absolutely.
Brides with a 5-inch heel.
Absolutely. And you know what? Common sense is not too common anyway, have you noticed?
That's right. But mind you, a wedding dance is a bit of a fantasy. It's very special in couples' life. So I can understand why they have very romantic ideals of what they're going to do with their dance. So the heels might be high for the ceremony, But one of the bits of advice I'll give is, if you're going to do a very fast dance, maybe change into something else, and you can always change back into your favorite shoes after your dance.
Sure. And Joo-Lee, is this appropriate, the materials coming up, if somebody is just into impressing their woman or man, right, and they want to prepare because they're making a nice dinner at home and they want to just spring up a little bit of music in a while and say, hey, would you like to dance, baby? Is that going to be useful as well, right?
Yes, they can use some of the techniques, so hopefully they can lead the partner well, but make sure that your partner actually wants to dance as well, because to work you have to make sure that the other party is has consented.
I see. Okay.
So usually at a social dance, we will go up to somebody and say, would you like to dance? It's an invitation. And most, 99.9% of the time, if you're there to dance, you'll say, yes, please. Sometimes they might say, oh, maybe later, because if they're feeling a bit hot, they might want to cool down.
Okay. Right.
Later, thank you very much. So there's an etiquette. So in order to dance as a couple, you need two consenting adults. It's going to sound a bit strange now. Two consenting adults.
Right.
Because in a partner dance, in a couple dance, you'll be dancing on your own if the other half isn't keen to dance. So invite them to dance, and if they like to dance with you, then you can dance. It's quite hard to dance with somebody who doesn't want to dance.
Oh, I'm sure. Wow. And you see, there you are, another consideration that just people might not know about when they, even if it's a way of communicating with somebody they actually quite like, they want to connect, if they don't realize that, they might come across as rude or forceful or whatever. So that's really good to know. Yeah.
As the dancers in my Lindy jazz class get more into the dancing, we do teach teach helpful techniques regarding the communication. So to begin with, when there are beginners, we would have clear roles. One of you will be a leader and one of you will be a follower, because at its simplest, somebody has to lead, somebody has to follow, because if you both lead, you'll have a bit of a tension between you. Definitely. If you both follow, the dance will never even begin.
Right.
So create clear roles by saying lead and follow. However, as the dancers become more familiar and more experienced, the leading and the following isn't as clear anymore. So you might lead by inviting the other person for a dance.
Right.
Then the follower would respond. A good leader would then respond to the follower's response. Right. So just like a conversation, one of us might lead. And earlier you were leading because you were asking me questions and inviting me. And then based on my response, you then responded. So ideally, in the best conversations, no one is leading, no one is following.
Wonderful. It sounds like it's not, wow, it sounds so much more, what word do I want to use? Such a learning curve to even dance and learn some really precious life skill. Everything you've just said, Joo-Lee, there could even be applied to people who work as actually leaders and CEOs.
There's so much to dancing. However, when I have a couple in front of me, I don't tell them all this because it'd be too complicated. These are the trade secrets that I'm sharing with everyone who's listening. So I use these skills. I use coaching and psychological skills, and these are teaching skills, so that I manage my students' learning. So all they have to do is to relax and do one thing at a time. So I manage their pace, because most students, especially adult students, they want to rush.
Right.
Find taking too much too quickly. That's when they start worrying and they start being tense.
Sure.
So I make sure it's all paced well. Just like if you went to somebody who already know how to dance to teach you, if they're not necessarily teachers, they might overload you with all the information that they know.
Right.
So sometimes going to an experienced dancer to help you with your dance isn't the best way, but going to somebody who is a trained teacher would be a good way, because a good teacher, hopefully, will manage how much to give you at any one point.
Yeah, wonderful.
that time. So on the online wedding dance lesson videos, I manage the learning. So all I'm asking the couples to set aside is 5 minutes a day.
Wow, that
So
sounds
if they want
very
to go crazy and just do all the videos in one day, they can do that. But
right.
take it in so much. So they're all designed. So all you need to do is put aside 5 minutes a day. But I also give some advice on during my instructions to say that it's not just what you do, it's the way that you do it. So I make sure, so I ask people to prepare to make sure you have a quiet space. Turn off your phone.
Sure.
Turn off Facebook. All right. The only thing that's online is my dance program.
Sure.
Put the dog in a different room. You know, put a sign on your front door. Like right now, I put a sign on my front door to say, "Please do not disturb. Meeting in progress." So
Yeah.
create 5 quiet minutes. If you're busy multitasking, doing the other things at the same time, you're not going to learn to dance. You'd be distracted. So
Right.
5 minutes isn't very long. You can put, I'm sure everyone can find 5 minutes. So I
Absolutely.
release the lessons well, and for the online program, there are 25 lessons. So
Wow, that's amazing.
5 minutes a day. If you want to if you want to double up and do 2 lessons a day, that's fine as well. But you need to make sure that you don't overload yourself. But if people need help from me, this is not just me selling you a few DVDs. It's a course, which means you have access to me. You know, you can ask me questions by email.
Okay.
We also have a private Facebook group for the wedding dance students. They can ask
Right.
questions, or they can video themselves and send it to me in private so that I can tell them what to do if they're stuck.
Okay, I love that, JooLees.
So it's
That's
almost like a private lesson because you do get access to me,
uh-huh.
but you don't have to travel to me.
Right.
And if you are worried about being with other people, it's like a private lesson because it's only yourselves and me, and you can still communicate with me anytime you want, and I will answer, you know, within 48 hours. And
That's
if you
fantastic.
happen to be online at the same time, then we'll answer straight away.
That sounds fantastic, JooLee. And you've got so much experience. You know, I really asked you to if I could have the pleasure to interview you. I want people to know that because I have an idea about you because I've seen some of your work. I signed up for some of your webinars myself, and I know that I only invite people here on this, you know, these interviews that are really. What I feel expert at what they do, an expert from the heart, which means that they're really, really absolutely into what they're doing. And this is very much what I've been feeling about you. And you put so many things into that. As you said, it's not just the dancing, it's the coaching and it's being able to, you know, support them and be there for them. And it's wonderful, you know, it
Oh,
sounds.
thank you. Thanks for that. It's nice to hear you say wonderful things and
No,
summarize it like that for me.
absolutely. Well, you didn't ask me for an interview. It's me who asked you, right?
Yes,
This is why, because I
you're
love,
interested in my work.
yeah, no, I love people who teach with their heart and who have, you know, it's a lifetime that you're sharing. It's something that you really, really love. And I bet it doesn't even feel like working, right? I mean,
It's
it's,
not working. I want to do this forever because it's such fun. It's such fun, and I want to, you know, I want people to not have to worry about doing something that's so special on the big day, and
sure.
it's something I can do easily. I can do this easily. So I want to show couples how easy this is.
That's wonderful.
And
And
all
so,
you need is time. You know, just put a few minutes aside.
absolutely. And so, JooLee, your new website, is it ready or is it, and what is it? Tell me. Tell
Yes, it is sort of ready. So
Okay.
anyone who's listening can go there. No one else will know about this yet. So this is
Okay.
for our listeners. So you simply go and put it into your web browser, thedancedoctor.co.uk. That's
Okay.
it, thedancedoctor.co.uk.
Okay.
So it's
That's
nearly
good.
ready, except the enrollment's not ready yet. So the
Okay.
course is not ready to buy yet. But you can take a look around the website and see the details, and you can find out what exactly you'll be learning. And also from people who they've been giving me some testimonials, so you can read to see what they say and see whether it resonates with you.
That sounds wonderful, Joo-Lee. And if somebody, I guess they can sign up through that website right now? Or,
yes, they can sign up through the website right now. You can go to thedancedoctor.co.uk, and
okay.
on the homepage, you'll be able to click a button that says book a call. So you can have a free Skype call with me.
No way.
Understand a little bit more, so you can get free advice, you know.
Oh, wow.
Just talk to me, get some free advice. Especially at this early stage of the launch, I have time, so you can come now. That's because I used to teach so many private lessons. I'm going to do less and less of them, and I'm going to make and create time for the Dance Doctor program so that I can help more people online. I think in this day and age, the technology is improved. It means I can reach more people.
Right.
And reach me more easily without having to live near me.
I love that. I love that, Joo-Lee. So we can go through the website, or we can go to the Facebook and we can join. And remind us of the, I mean, we're going to put this below the video, guys, right? Anybody who's listening right now, so there's no worries.
Yeah, so it's just called The Dance Doctor. And then for the Facebook group, yes, the Facebook group is called The Dance Doctor. And then the website is simply thedancedoctor.co.uk.
And I love that. And then we can have a look at the group. I mean, I think, am I in the group, or I must be, because I see your picture.
Yeah, you're on the Facebook page. Yeah, you have clicked like. So that's
yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks really happening. I mean, it's a great, it's fantastic. There's always beautiful pictures, and it looks like a set.
I put a few tips there for wedding dancing, but also share some clips of good examples.
Yeah.
You know, wedding dance couples that look natural. You know, that's what I want to help couples to look as if dancing is easy, relaxed, natural, because that's where the beauty comes, when you're relaxed, not when you're stressed.
Absolutely. So, Joo-Lee, thank you. It's been an absolute fun privilege to have you and to see. It's always a pleasure to interview people, as I said, who are so absolutely working from the heart and with their craft, a lifelong of experience you have. So thank you very, very much. And
thank you.
I look forward to the classes. I mean,
yes, you can learn to dance. You don't have to be getting married to dance, but it's open to everybody. But I start with one program for wedding dance couples, but everyone is welcome to learn. The more dancing you do, the more joy you have in your life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Joo-Lee.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayana.
See you soon. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you soon.